And I take notes, I record these. I share the notes later on after we're done with the subject, and I post the recording in case you want to share it with team members or staff.
Very good.
Share my screen today. So we talked about the Unshakable Eights last week, which is just basically the philosophy of dealing with marketing pillars. I put a picture of marketing pillars last week. A lot of people kind of who've done any type of studying with Dan Kennedy know what he talks about marketing pillars. These just aren't marketing ideas that you've tried one or two times. It's something that you do on a regular basis. Not only that you do, but you have a pretty thorough system. So when you do it, you make sure it just gets done right. And it's effective. That's one of the things we talked about last week with the Unshakable Eights, one of the eights being measurement. So anytime we do a marketing pillar, we want to make sure we have measurement, that we're getting results from it, and the return is good on those. If the return isn't good, we have to make sure that we either adjust our program or maybe invest in a different type of program. Let me just get rid of this one box here. So PGs are called progress and goal checks. It's the follow-up we're going to be doing after a new student enrolls. In the past, like in the 90s or early 2000s, people did 246. 246 was just phone calls that we would make to students 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks after they started the program. The whole idea was to check on their attendance, make sure they're happy with the program, address any concerns that they may have. After that, we went on to sticky letters. That was the next evolution of the 246. Sticky letters were something that created stickiness to the school. It was a glue to keep our students into the school. And we did that through bulky mail. So instead of just doing a letter, we would do a letter with something in the letter or packed with something in. So when people got it, they got a package and they want to open it to see what was inside. So that was the cool thing about sticky letters. That evolved probably 5-6 years ago into the progress and goal checks. When I first learned from progress and goal checks, there's some two people, Craig Haley, who's got a school in Lighthouse Point, and my buddy Paul Garcia, who's got 3 schools up in Massachusetts. So they're called progress and goals. It's meant to do several different things. One, it's meant to build a rapport. So we want to make sure that we start each one of these conversations with a greeting. We're doing something to bridge or to build rapport. We want to make sure we compliment the child. The whole idea is to keep this positive. So we're not starting this conversation with a progress and goal check looking for things that are going wrong. We're looking for things that are going right. We want to build a relationship with the parents. We want to build trust with the parents. And we want to start training the parents and educating the parents so they have an amazing experience. We also want to train them and educate them on the black belt lifestyle. So we're not just doing martial arts as an activity. They may have started as an activity, but what our goal is to keep them long term. We want to make sure that they get the results they're looking for, whatever benefit they're looking for, if it's confidence, self-esteem, if it's competition, whatever their goal is, we want to make sure they reach their goal. As much as we'd like to have everyone reach their goal short term, it just doesn't happen. Martial arts is a long-term event. I like to do my PGs, my progress and goal checks, one-on-one. So it's either myself, my program director, someone who's managing my school, they're doing it one-on-one. That's the most effective way to build trust. They are effective in a VIP class orientation. In other words, if you're doing a very important parents conference once a month and you're having the new parents come in, they're learning to train with their kids. They're learning the different requirements we have in our school. It's like an orientation. They're good to do that. So if you don't have the time to do them one-on-one and you want to do them all together, the VIP orientation would be my second choice. If I was going to do one and all of a sudden I catch the parents sitting down with 10 or 15 other parents, I would still do it in front of other parents. So it doesn't have to be done one-on-one. I can do it with other parents listening, because I'm going to basically do the same talk with all the parents. In that group situation, it's a little more difficult to build rapport. I mean, I can't ask all those parents what they do for a living, trying to build a rapport. And so that's a little more difficult. It also can be automated. So if you're using Rainmaker and you want to set up as a flow, and you either want to do it in writing in text format, or if you want to do it as a video, you can do it that way. But everything that I've learned about building trust is done on a face-to-face situation. If you're standing there, you're looking someone in the eye, you're talking to them, you're having a conversation, that's the biggest way to build trust. And trust is what we want. I mean, we're there for the best service of the parents. We're there for the best service of the kids. Parents don't know that yet until they get to know us. And so I want to spend my first couple months with those parents and really building trust. So that's kind of the format for the PGs. Number one, PG1 is done 2 weeks after a student gets started in the school. And really the goal for PG1, and again, PG means progress and goals, is teach the parents not to compare their child with everyone else in your school. We also want to train them into becoming a good finder. So when they're watching their child either do martial arts, they're watching their child at other sports, or maybe even at home just hanging around the house or cleaning around the house, we want to have them become good finders. So they're not looking for their kids doing something wrong. We're training them to look for their children doing something good. So some parents may look for performance too soon. So when you go to your PG and you're talking to the parent and go, hey, it's great to see you today. How you doing? They go, no, I'm doing really good. And so it's really amazing that you've been coming and watching your child in class for the last couple of weeks. How do you like what you see? Well, it's pretty good. I just don't know if my kid's going to be able to keep up with this. You know, he's not in the best shape and he's a little awkward out there. So we don't want parents thinking like that, because in martial arts, no one sits on the bench. Everyone has a chance. Everyone progresses at their own rate, and that's what we want to talk to parents about. And you know, Mr. Smith, there's a lot of kids in that class. We have like 10 kids in that class. Some of these kids have been here for 3 or 4 months. So it's really unfair to compare certain children to other children. What we're looking for is the progress of the individual child. If you notice our instructors, one of the things our instructors are really good at is becoming good finders. So just listen, you'll find that they're going to different kids, different children in the class. They may notice a good stance. They may notice a good eye contact. They may notice just good respect. And they're going to remark about that. And those type of compliments going a long way to build your child's confidence. So we really don't want to compare your kids with everyone else. What we want to do is compare them to what they're doing now and what they can be doing shortly in the future. So now we're educating the parents on, okay, this is why our instructors are complimenting. This is why they're telling them this is going to happen in the future. You keep up that good attitude, you're going to be great at martial arts. We're building the confidence. Just as a side note, this is kind of neat for instructors because you may actually use this statistic later on. But they say 80% of children going to first grade have good or high self-confidence. 80% have good or high self-confidence. By second grade, it flips. 80% of the kids start losing confidence or lost their self-esteem. The reason that happens is because when kids start getting into school and things like that, they have a lot of negative things. Kids just aren't looking to other kids become a good finder. They're making fun of them. They're doing this. They're making fun of other kids. Kids lose their confidence. At our school, we have to change that around. That's why our instructors are good finders. Now, your talk doesn't have to be that long. I just kind of threw that in just for your information. Then they say, parents, if you really want to, like to work here as a team between your child, instructors, and yourself. If you can catch your children doing something good at home and then be positive about that, give them a little pat on the back, it's really going to help on building their self-confidence. So now we're working at it here in the school, and you're doing the same thing at home. So now we're asking the parents just become a good finder. And it's amazing how you tend to find what you're looking for. I start thinking of times that, I bought a new car or something, and all of a sudden I'm driving that type of car, and I'll start seeing them all over the place. I can't believe how many cars like this on the road. So you tend to find what you're looking for. It's the same thing when parents become good finders. They start finding their kids doing things better and better all the time. And since they're going to relate a lot of that to the martial arts school, they're going to start seeing the results that they're looking for and they wanted when they started the kids in the school. So what we really want to do is have the parents become good finders, work on the confidence, because I don't want to sit down with the parents in 3 months, talk to them about setting the goal of black belt, and have them say, my kid just stinks at this. He's not going to become a black belt. No. I've already covered that. That's what PG1 was all about. I educated the parents. I got them thinking that everyone can do it. Their child can be good. We just got to look at the progress, the individual progress in the student. So you don't get this objection 3 months later when you recommend this child for your black belt leadership program. PG2 happens 2 weeks after PG1. I just got to hold on. In PG2, this again is once again to build rapport in the parents. So maybe now you know where the parent works, you know a little bit about them. So when you stop to talk to the parent, you're building a little rapport. You're not just going into the PG. It's really important to have that conversation. And again, we're trying to build trust with the parents. We're going to thank the parents once again for supporting their kids. If they just did a stripe test, you may want to mention that, hey, your child looked really good in the stripe test. It's one step towards black belt. Oh, yeah, he really enjoyed it. He was so proud of himself. So that'd be a really good time to mention stripe test that just passed. You want to compliment them on the good attendance. I've been watching your child now for a whole month. I think he's been here every single class. That's totally awesome. So compliment on good attendance. But now we're going to train the parents. We're going to teach the parents that it's not always going to be like this. When everyone starts something new, they're very excited. After a little while, all of a sudden, things may come up. So I'm going to tell the parents, hey, there is going to become a time when you're going to ask your child to go to martial arts. For some reason or another, he's going to say, I don't want to go. Now, I've been through this a long time. I've trained my team. My team knows exactly how to handle this. Maybe something came up in school. Maybe he was just involved in a conversation with one of his buddies, or he's playing a video game, or he's watching TV. He lost track of time, so the first thing he says, I don't want to do karate. So it's nothing to be panicked about, but it is important to bring it to my attention. When you first came here to school, you set some lofty goals. One of them that your child gets self-confidence and self-esteem. And when things like this come up, it's always important that we team up so we don't give up on David. So if this does happen, and I know it's going to happen, just bring it to my attention. I'll give him some extra help. I'll sign one of the instructors. We'll give a talking to it. David, find exactly what's going on. Maybe something happened between him or one of his students. Maybe something happened in school. But we're going to find out about it, and we're going to give the attention he deserves and get him right back on track. So that's PG2. So we're not really bringing up something negative. We're just saying, hey, this happens. No matter what you're doing, your children are doing, everyone has highs and lows in their enthusiasm. When this low comes up, okay, it's not time to just give up. It is time to bring it to our attention and see what we can do. And again, we'll do our best to make sure we address that and get David back on track. So now when a few weeks from now, we're going to be talking to David and his parents about going into our Black Belt Leadership Program. I don't want mom or dad saying, what if he wants to quit? I've already taken care of that. I want to, when I talk about upgrading, this has to be a very, very positive conversation. And I don't want to start defending myself, defending my school. So in PG1, I told them that everyone change or progress at their own rate. PG2, it's fine. Everyone's going to have highs and lows in their enthusiasm. It's okay if David wants to quit. The important thing is we talk to him, find out what's going on, and keep him at task so he doesn't quit everything he does. PG3, 2 weeks later. PG3, again, is one more chance to talk to the parents. This will be the last time we're going to be doing an informal meeting like this. I mean, our front door is always open. Our office doors are always open to talk to parents. But this is actually a scheduled, planned meeting, informal meeting. It's again, they've been there for 2 months. So now is our chance to plant a seed for black belt leadership. So when we're talking to the parents, the question is pretty simple. Have you or your child talked about setting the goal for black belt? Now, you're either going to get a yes or no. And the yes or no all is going to lead to a conversation. So I don't care if they say yes. I don't care if they say no. If they say yes, that's great. I said, our next step in our training is our Black Belt Leadership Program. And I was wondering if I could sit down with you, David, maybe the missus next week or right after class today, and just spend 10 minutes telling you a little bit about our Black Belt leadership. If they go, hey, we've never done that. He's been training classes. He loves coming to classes. My goal is just to make sure he has fun in this activity. That's great. But I'd really like to have 10 minutes and just tell you about the next step. Again, our next step is our Black Belt Leadership. I just want to kind of explain that program in detail. Now, since the student's only been there for 2 months, I'm not going to go for the close. I'm not going to try to sign them up. I'm going to explain that our goal in our school is we're a black belt school. In other words, when people come in, we're not looking to train them a little. We're trying to get them to the level of black belt. So they get in the best shape of their life. They can defend themselves, and they have time to develop all the inside benefits of martial arts, the values, the integrity, the honesty, the perseverance. And so that'd be our next step. And that next step is to get him on that. It's a 24-month program. And that's not guaranteeing he's going to get black belt, but we're just setting a long-term goal towards his black belt. And right now he hasn't taken long enough. I want to make sure that this is a definite fit for you. The earliest we can do this is after he gets his yellow belt. So after he gets his yellow belt, we can sit down and talk about it further, unless, of course, you have any questions at this time. So again, it's now time to plant the seed, and that's how we go. First, we just build the parents' confidence in their child. We make sure that we understand, yes, everyone's going to want to quit at some time, but this is an important goal. If we really want to see David get these goals that you're looking for, it is going to take a while. Now, when you're talking about the goals, it's really important that you know when the person first starts up what their goal is. Because when you talk about the black belt program, you want to do these 3 steps. Black belt training is going to give you a chance to get the self-confidence you're looking for, David. So I'm just using self-confidence. So number 1 here, share the goal back. Next thing we want to do is blow it up. Confidence is just so important. Confidence can mean a lot of things, that he's not afraid to go to school, that maybe when he does go to school, he's not afraid to raise his hand and make mistakes. It's going to make him take on new activities. Hopefully he's going to be doing some other sports and other things in school. But those things wouldn't happen unless he has self-confidence. So I shared my vision for black belt. Now I want to be specific with this parent. So I share the goal they're looking for. Next thing is I blow it up. So the goal is self-confidence, but self-confidence really means this. So now I blew up what self-confidence is. Next thing I want is paint a picture 3 years from now. David's only 11. 3 years from now, he's going to be in middle school. Middle school can be really tough. And it's just going to be such an advantage when he goes to middle school. And he's got that confidence and self-esteem. He thinks about the different relations he's going to have. Hopefully he's getting much better grades by then. That's also going to add to his confidence. He's going to be more athletic. I know a lot of kids in school, especially when they get to middle age or middle school and they're a little out of shape, they could be targets or bullies. David's not going to be that way. 3 years of training, he's going to be in the best shape. So he's going to be one of those kids that's going to be fast, he's going to be strong, and that other kids are going to be looked up to. We want him to be a real role model to other kids and really be a leader. And that's what our black belt leadership is all about. If you do those 3 steps and you pick that picture, I don't think there's a parent's going to be sitting with you and go, nah, I don't want that for my kid. I mean, you're putting the picture in their mind. So again, share the goal back. If it's self-confidence, I would do it that way. If it was just patience, I would do the same thing about patience. How, patience is the goal you're looking for. Patience is really, really great because when people have patience, they're going to stick to things longer. They're going to be more liked by their peers. They're going to be more respected by their teachers. So this is something you can practice with your team. So sit down with your team, start thinking about the benefits of martial arts, and then try to work on this. Okay, so it's all about perseverance. Okay, that's the goal. Parents want the kids to have perseverance. What would that mean if we blew it up? Have your team discuss that. How would a child in high school or college fare up against other kids in society if he had more perseverance? And then that's the picture you're going to paint for the parent that's looking for perseverance with the child. But do with all the goals. It's not something that you want to just do on the spot. Of course, when we do instructor college, we do it on the spot. But most people can do this. If you talk to even an 18-year-old kid and said, what does a child with self-confidence look like? Give me your words, not my words. I'm sure he could explain it. So that is the details of PGs. So PG is a system. It is marketing because you're marketing for continued business from your students. Someone came in, signed up for 6 months, gave you $795, and now you're ready to present another program that may be $3,000. So it is marketing. It's just marketing on a different level. It's not marketing for a brand new student, but it is marketing for a student to continue. On a sideline, by giving this much attention to the student and the parents, it is going to give you new students because people are going to recommend you when they know what you're all about. You're not just coming in and selling them a spot on the mat, let them train. When they want to quit, they're going to quit. No, you're more than that. You're a teacher. You're not a coach. You're there teaching them the martial arts skills and life skills. And when you do that type of service, people talk about you. And when people talk about you, that's how you start getting referrals. I know we have quite a few new people online. Does anyone have any questions on the progress and goal checks? Okay, I think we're pretty good. Usually I try to do that in 5 minutes. Today I want to do it in a half hour because I want to make more time, try to make it more clear, and give you more steps in the system so you can implement it almost all right away. Are we good? Nice meeting you, Nate. See, Mr. Convento's always telling me to beat him up because he does personal coaching with me for business now. He goes, be tough on me, make me bleed like my other instructors did. So
that's correct.
It's correct right there.
Master Gordon, he knows that. He used to beat me up every morning at 5:30 in the snows of Philly. Yeah. That's where I get the toughness from.
Awesome.
How do we download the material, Greg?
Pardon me?
How do we download the material?
There's a Facebook page called Rainmakers Business Solutions.
Okay.
You can post it on that within an hour.
Very good. Good seeing you, Sal.
Okay, everyone, have a great day. Thank you.
All right. You too, Greg. Thank you. Bye-bye.